1930, a young astronomer named Clyde Tombaugh spotted a shifting point of light on a photographic plate. The fastest craft ever launched is about to reach this last unexplored and unseen world, Pluto. On July 14th, New Horizons will zip past the former 9th planet and its moons. Nobody really knows what to expect out there.
Half the people in America are too young to remember Voyager. They either weren't born or they were too young to have any memory of it except in a textbook. They've never seen a point of light turned into a planet literally overnight by a spacecraft pulling up for the first time. Nothing like this is planned to ever happen again by any space agency on the Earth.
Right now we're going to transform this little pixelated blob into a real world with complexity and diversity and who knows what.
We have some very crude images of what Pluto looks like from the Hubble Space Telescope, but really we have almost no idea of what it actually looks like. We have a lot of ideas of what it might look like. All of those pictures that we have in our heads and that we think we know what Pluto looks like, we're just going to throw all those out the window and replace them with reality, which is the most fun thing you can do.
New Horizons lifted off from Cape Canaveral on January 19th, 2006. It was designed to be simple, practical, reliable, and fast. Very fast.
The spacecraft, in order to get to Pluto, had to be launched on the largest rocket that was available, and making the payload small so you'd get the maximum energy injected into this spacecraft. It took the Apollo astronauts 3 days to get to the moon. The New Horizons spacecraft passed the moon in 9 hours.
A year later, New Horizons passed Jupiter, gaining enough speed to cut 3 years of travel time. But reaching Pluto still required 9 years and 3 billion miles. The longest journey yet for any spacecraft to reach its primary target.
You know, we've gone through this long, extended cruise to get out to Pluto because it's so far away. Pluto's always been in the future. It's always been sort of this abstract concept of, you know, it's been a PowerPoint, timelines and whatnot. Now it's really starting to reveal itself with the instruments. And it's like, wow, we really are almost there.
We're going exploring. We've never been to this type of planet. We've never been to the Pluto system. And one of the great lessons of planetary science is that the first missions to Mars discovered completely unexpected things like river valleys. The first missions to Jupiter discovered that there were volcanic moons and moons with oceans on the inside, and no one predicted that really. So we've learned from experience that you go in with your eyes wide open, the most powerful suite of instruments. After all, we're not planning to rewrite any textbooks. We're planning to write them from scratch.
What we know about Pluto can be put on a postcard. It is a pipsqueak of a world smaller than Earth's moon. Pluto is vastly different from the rocky terrestrial planets of the inner solar system and the gas giants farther out.
Pluto is like a little mini solar system. We've just discovered all of these other moons over the past decade, 5 moons plus Pluto. Who would have thought that such a little object that's only 3/4 the size of the Earth's moon would have a little mini solar system running around it?
The first couple moons they discovered, we thought, oh wow, that's pretty cool. Now Pluto has 3 moons. But when they got to the other 2 moons, we were thinking, oh no, this might be a problem. Maybe there's a debris field. Maybe there's a ring system. We just don't know.
It's one lone, plucky little spacecraft with no backup, potentially flying into harm's way.
The Pluto system is tipped on its side, like a target facing the sun.
The location of Pluto is interesting right now. So it almost looks like a big dartboard. And we have this lance coming at it and going right through the dartboard.
New Horizons will speed through it at 10 miles a second, crossing the orbit of Charon, Pluto's largest moon. The thought and the hope is that Charon's gravity will have cleared away any nearby dust and debris.
If the spacecraft were hit by something even the size of a rice pellet, it could pierce into the spacecraft and potentially cause it to stop functioning. It would be like colliding with a brick at 60 miles an hour.
It takes 4.5 hours for a signal from Earth to get to Pluto. During the flyby, New Horizons will be on autopilot, out of contact with the Earth, as alone as any robot